Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to day one of Excellencium. We hope you had a great evening. Shh, let's quiet down. Thank you. We hope you had a great evening yesterday, had a chance to meet everyone, speak to all of people from coming all over. Just as a reminder, please show up at least 5 minutes early to every session. And for the first session of the day, please come 10 to 15 minutes early so that you have time to register and check in. As you probably saw, the line gets long. So to avoid starting late and running over, please make sure to come early. So once again, welcome to day one of Excellencium. Today, we will be talking about leading yourself, building off of some of the amazing discussions we had during the virtual academy. Just to introduce, we are having over 60 leaders of today. So these are current leaders, people who maybe have been in your shoes not too long ago, who have attended Excellencium or some of our other flagship events, and now are here to share their stories with you and inspire your future career and development. Our 60 plus leaders of today are some of the most diverse and one of our biggest cohorts of leaders to date. They range from coming from academia, coming from industry, coming from non-government, government NGOs, government positions, and biotech and industry. And they're very, very happy to be here and very eager to speak to all of you today. So please take a chance today and in the coming days to speak to all of them. As a reminder, the three themes we'll be focusing on are leading for impact, leading a team, and leading yourself, building off of the discussions we've been having for the past few weeks with the virtual academy. We hope that in the next few days, you take all of the fireside chats, panels, keynote speakers, all of the details and insights they share with you to bring that into your future career and development and come out as a leader, not only of tomorrow, but a leader of today. And that's where all of you come in. As we said yesterday, you are one of the most diverse cohort to date. You come from over 43 countries, ranging from all corners of the world. There's 60% of you are coming from some sort of professional background, 40% are coming from an academic student background, but we hope that all of you will find just one person to speak to and to get some sort of lesson to carry with you for not only the coming days, but for years to come. And so with that, I'll pass it over to Dan to welcome our first speaker. Please, a round of applause.
Fast.
Please.
Which way?
This way is perfect.
Okay, perfect. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Alexandre, for being with us today. It's such a privilege for us to welcome you.
My pleasure to be here. So I live in Lyon, so it was not too far. It's okay. I'm the local guy. Okay.
So you're currently the executive chairman of bioMérieux. This is a leading player in the in vitro diagnostics, really detecting and diagnosing all the infectious diseases globally, and also detecting microorganisms in all sorts of areas. So, you really have grown into this role for the previous 2 decades. If I'm not mistaken, you started at Silica, right?
I started in the food testing business, sister company.
Yeah, in a marketing role.
Kind of.
Yeah. And then you went into the more operational aspect at bioMérieux.
I joined bioMérieux in 2005 to run a business unit dedicated to food control. Then it's a family business, so I made my way to the top. How can I say that? Okay, and I became a CEO in 2014 at the age of 40 years old, and then chairman and CEO. And since 3 years, I'm chairman. so I'm less operational. We promoted a CEO better than me in the company to run the company. Okay. Because I did the job for 9 years. I believe it was good to refresh a bit the management, but I'm still present. Okay.
And you also had the chance, as you said, to really learn all the tools and learn with, I believe, maybe Stéphane Bancel also, where you were deputy CEO.
Yeah, Stéphane Bancel, you know Stéphane Bancel?
CEO from Moderna.
From Moderna,
yeah.
One of the heroes of the biotech. Yeah, he used to be CEO of bioMérieux a bit before me. On him, he was CEO of bioMérieux at 34 years old. So it was a big bet. But I believe at the time, my father saw the potential. Okay.
Yeah, indeed, and he was, of course, right. And now you hand it over in 2023 to Pierre Boulud.
Yeah.
And you have taken this step back and having a even larger and broader impact on the vision and on the strategy of the group, and so that's the current role you're in. Yeah. And also, so you're coming from a long history in terms of your family, which came back to your great-grandfather in the late 1800s, who actually was a student, as we discussed yesterday, of Pasteur.
Yeah.
Yes. And then your grandfather really developing the vaccines worldwide, a lot of, especially in emerging countries also.
Yeah.
And then your father, Alain, who actually built the company, bioMérieux, in the diagnostics field in 1963.
Yeah.
So
maybe I say one word about the group.
Please.
Yes, the group is involved in healthcare since the origins. And today we have, I would say, a set of companies that we control. So the first one is bioMérieux in clinical diagnostic. Second one is, so we put our name everywhere, is Mérieux NutriSciences in the field of food safety and quality. We also have a small but investment fund in the field of healthcare called Mérieux Equity Partners. And we took a minority share in a company called Siva, which is an animal health company, which makes a lot of sense because we like what we call the One Health approach. You have to deal with human health, environment, and animal health, which is a bit the Pasteurian vision. So we are quite focusing on these companies, and we are quite long-term, obviously.
Yeah. So that will be a key part. So first, to start about leadership. Well, we have to start some way. So you, beyond this family legacy that you have, right, of course, what kind of leader did you decide to become also? And what really shaped that?
Yeah, so I have to be transparent. I told you in the beginning I'm not a typical leader because I come from a family legacy. So it's not saying, that doesn't mean I'm not working, but I had time to adapt, and the company had time to adapt to me. But the family legacy is important because the first thing you don't want to do when you are part of a family business, you don't want to be the one ending the legacy, or at least unless you start something else. And the good thing that you have time. Business is complex, but you have time to grow. They gave me time to grow in the company. I don't believe I chose to be. I'm very bad with management. Okay. That's the feedback they give me. No, but I mean, you learn, you grow, and you learn. So I didn't choose to find a type of leader because I believe you have to be who you are. If you start to play a role, you are not good, and people see that you are not good. So of course, you need some basics. I understand which things I still need to improve, still working on. Decision making, running a meeting, talking in public, still need to improve there. There are some basics you have to work on. But for me, it's difficult to put people in boxes. Some managers, you can put them in boxes, which is it's good also for some type of businesses. But I did my homework before coming. So I looked at the different style which might exist. I believe I am closer to what people call or management calls servant leadership. That's more for me, more long term. It means that the priority goes to the internal community and also the external community. So priority goes to the employees, because we really believe that everybody in the company plays a key role. So let's say my work, my goal is to give the vision, make sure the mission of the company is established, and a bit to set the tone. But today, if I combine bioMérieux and NutriSciences, we are 25,000 employees worldwide. I believe my first responsibility goes towards the employees, to our customers, which are most of the time the patients, and it goes also to the ecosystem close by. It could be local companies, also social NGOs which are doing the work. So that's the bit how I see myself. You have to define myself. But my goal is mainly to set the tone, to hire the people which have a good human dimension, a vision also. But then I think it's important to accept different type of styles. I need people who are very good with execution. I need people with focus on people focus on finance. So it's you set the tone, and then you have to live with different type of personalities. And I believe this is important. Diversity is important everywhere, and it's important in management style also. I don't believe at all in the one-size-fits-all type of approach.
And to bounce back, you said that we have to be ourselves when we lead. At the same time, there are points that we need to improve on. So how do you, when personality ends, and when are the improvements? Where do the improvements start? When do you know I have to improve this because I'm this personality and I want to become someone like better, or this is me and I'm stopping here?
First you learn every day. I keep learning because you make mistakes and again I really believe it's important. It takes time. And the first thing is to know a bit yourself, and it takes time. Because there is pressure in the work, even if it's a family business, you have pressure because you have the eyes of the employees, you have the eyes of the community. By the way, bioMérieux is a listed company, so it's sometimes more pressure coming from the financial market. No, for me, a few basics. I still have time to work, so it's not over. I'm not writing my memoirs. I think it's important to find your style, to be authentic. I think this is what people in the end will respect. And to be frank, the best thing I did, I believe, was to get good people around me. Sometimes I know where I have a few strengths. I know where I'm not good at. So it's important to find the right people around you. And I believe also what you learn with time and with management, I believe it's humility, because you make mistakes and you learn from the others. Plus, it's a very, very complex world, more and more. So bringing around you people with international dimension, I believe, is quite key. So for me, you need a mix of course, passion and ambition for the mission of the company. You truly need to respect everybody in the company, whether you are pushing a box or doing business development, and that's why humility for me is important. But humility can go with ambition and passion and drive. Okay.
Makes sense. So in our program, we have this first day leading yourself. It comes before leading others. So stepping into the CEO role and afterwards the executive chairman, what is stepping into this role really teach you? Like, let's say maybe practical, like with an example or maybe an anecdote, because you mentioned a lot about how you learn from mistakes. So maybe what did it teach you to step into this role?
No, it taught me a bit of a rigor, because the fact that you are listed, you have to be careful, because if you say something wrong or do something wrong, you have an immediate impact. So I try to be careful. I try to be what is not easy when you are a listed company, because you have to tell the same thing on the outside world and to the internal world, and you don't want to say the same thing because when you are listed, the people look at you for the 6 next months or for the year to come. And when you are running a business, mainly in the field of healthcare, you have to project yourself for the 5 to the next 10 years. So I learned to find the balance around that and to put the priority on the internal messages more than the external one, which maybe was not perfect, but that's why I'm quite happy today not to talk anymore to the financial community. Yeah.
Do you have an example of a time that you actually said something that you actually didn't expect to bounce back the way you would have hoped for?
To the external world?
Yeah.
Every day. No. No. It was. I try to be cautious.
That's great. If you don't have.
No, I try to be cautious. I made a few mistakes, but I made business mistakes. Or the thing in the. Sorry, I'm totally destroying the agenda of the questions. But the field in the healthcare industry or biotech, you need to project yourself. It takes time to develop a molecule or diagnostic system, and you have to deal with the business which goes fast. So you have to find a balance between speed, because you have to go fast in decision making, and taking the time to deliver the solution. So this is mainly this balance that I try to respect, which is not always obvious, but. Again, we are a special case because we are family-owned. 60% is family-owned, so I can live with external pressure without being impacted on my daily life.
That's actually one of the questions. So now currently a lot of decisions are made on very quick terms, short-term wins. We have to be super fast in developing. We have to be super fast in understanding the world. So how does long horizon family ownership business really help you to make bold decisions on a day-to-day basis while quick decisions are, and also short-term is valued?
But you need to make quick decisions in terms of execution, because you are today the world has changed, and we are. China is growing really fast in my space. What they did in pharma, they do it also in vitro diagnostics. So speed is very, very important in the decision making. Developing products also, but it still takes time. But the fact to have the long-term view, that's good, because myself or even the CEO of bioMérieux, I don't look at the result of the 6 months or of the year. And sometimes we agree. The things that give me more time is the fact that if we have to do an acquisition, because we have to do a lot of acquisition in my space, I'm fine to do an acquisition which could be dilutive. It means that it will have a bad impact on the P&L of the company. But if we truly believe it's good for the future, we will do it. And that's maybe something that other companies might not do, because they will look at the ratio multiple times EBITDA to make sure it fits. So that's maybe the type of thing we have a flexibility to do. Okay.
And more about the industry. So you said everything is moving so fast. Where do you actually see the field going forward to?
Typically for the diagnostic area. It's changing a lot. First, diagnostic, it's part of healthcare. I'm mainly focusing on infectious disease. But let's say it's 3% of the healthcare spending, but it's involved in 70 to 80% of the clinical decisions. So this is a very important step for prevention and targeting the therapy. But sometimes it's a bit seen as a cost in the laboratory. So my job, the job of the industry, to promote, defend the medical value of the solution, but work also on the cost benefit aspect. Things have changed in 2020, because we all remember the COVID days. So at the time, if you remember, before the vaccines from Stéphane Bancel, before they arrived, there was only testing to detect, trace, and isolate. So it was a good recognition of the work of diagnostic. It has changed the way also because it was diagnostic was close to the patient, and I believe it's a key trend today. My customers, usually they are very big lab chains or big lab hospitals who are doing routine testing a lot. But what we see emerging is a decentralization of tests allowed by technologies such as immunoassay and PCR. So it's a bit changing the paradigm. It means you can be tested close to at home or in a pharmacy or at the doctor's office. And it's quite a good revolution, I believe. The closer you do it, the better it is for the healthcare system. What is coming reality also, we talk about this for a lot of time, is more and more, I believe, that personalized medicine is becoming a reality, thanks to technology. But it's true now with the rise of molecular, the rise of genomic, you can get personalized medicine with personalized diagnostic, mainly today, I believe, in the field of oncology, maybe nutrition also. So that's a reality which is coming. And even if the world is a bit complex with the fight between US and China, the boom in technology is really for real. On the therapeutic side, what I see with CAR-T, cell engine therapies, the rise of AI, the rise of sequencing, I believe these are very, very strong, good revolutions. That's something maybe you have in mind if you will work in healthcare or biotech, that all the healthcare systems are bankrupt, are under pressure. So hospitals, they want to cut costs, and they are run this way. So we really, really need to work or to develop a solution which will have a medical value and a cost benefit. Otherwise, you will end up doing medicine or healthcare only for the rich, which is not exactly what we want to do. Maybe I talk too much. I look at bioMérieux. I do with the company does 45% of its revenue in the US. It's great. It's a great market. But when you are dealing with an infectious disease, by essence, it's a bacteria, it's a virus. They travel everywhere. I believe for me, for the decade to come, I need to push a bit more the work on the R&D towards solutions which would be more adapted for low to middle income countries, because this is where there are lots of needs and they need different types of solutions. So that's going to be, I think, a big work for the decade to come. And it doesn't come with a business plan, but it comes with a strong public health need.
I would like also to maybe take a step back and look at maybe also your personal positioning in this environment. So maybe if we can come back to also the city. So your family really helped shape the Lyon as a life science hub, and also I believe have built the IARC agency that we will be visit this afternoon together. So Lyon has always been key for your family. So maybe first, why on a business side is it so important to still be rooted in Lyon?
It's super important because these are the roots of the family, and it's true. In the history, we have been involved in, for example, the Sanofi vaccine business used to be launched or was developed by my family. So yes, we are rooted here. And first, Lyon has always been a good place for science. You have a good medical school. You have a fantastic management school. You have a strong network of hospitals. Yes, you have the IARC, as you mentioned. And not everything is thanks to us, but it's very important for us to support a strong ecosystem, because these are the roots, and we believe that with strong roots you can go far. Today, for example, France is only 6% of the revenue of bioMérieux, but it's still close to 30% of the employees which are based in France. That's something we like to develop and protect, because I think it's important. Even for me, if I have to bring talents from the outside, it's important that they see that Lyon is a place where they can interact with scientists, with managers and oncology partners. So yes, it's very important to work on this.
So that's also what we try to do with this event, right? Displaying and showcasing how the ecosystem in Lyon is well developed, thanks to what you have done and also before, and to really display also the French and European ecosystem. So this is why we organize this event here.
In Lyon, we like to fight against Paris also. So,
Indeed.
It's a centralized country, so there's a good hub for science, very good startups and companies. So it's important to promote it. But it's good sometimes to be far away from Paris, because you can have a better cooperation.
Even for us, it would have been easier to organize it in Paris. Yeah. So, but how, maybe on this, would you be able to challenge the location at some point based on the moves in terms of geography, saying, okay, we have this history, this is very personal to me, but okay, maybe we need to move on.
In terms of location, going worldwide?
In terms
but the company is worldwide. Most of my operations are in the US. Then it's France. Then it's China. Plus the world has changed. My model is a bit like the pharma one. It's one manufacturing R&D site serving the world. It's changing a bit now with the fight on trade, with the fact that every country now wants to internalize production. So my scope is worldwide, but I have a tendency to make sure that to protect what we do here. Protecting doesn't mean to do stupid things or keeping a business which are not profitable. But I'm quite impressed. Now, we are a bio-industrial company. It means most of the bioMérieux people, in fact, are people working in R&D and manufacturing. And it's impressive to see, when you give them some freedom, to see how they fight for their site. They come with crazy good ideas to go further. And it's my goal to push for that. It's easier said than done, but that's something we want to prolong.
And also, same leadership is personal leadership also can change and is quite challenged a lot. So you mentioned many changes. Has there been a point in time where the moves went so fast that maybe you couldn't understand them? And as you mentioned, you are helped by other people who are also very smart and they help you out making decisions. But sometimes maybe a change, you felt personally like, okay, it might not be the way I like to go or the direction I like to go, but I have to. To be frank, in my short career, it's not over.
What kept me awake was more management issues, people issues. Of course, COVID was tough. We are dealing with patients also, so safety of our product is priority. So that's the type of stress I have. No, just today. It's more the thinking I have today that the world has changed so much these past 2 years that it's more how to adapt the company to this disruptive environment. And I think it will go through a different type of organization, putting maybe more weight and power in the regions, on maybe letting go some control that we have. Okay, so it's in the making. But the first quality of a manager, of a leader, is to hire and promote good people. So solutions might come from them.
How do you find amazing people, and how do you attract them? compared to other
No,
companies?
first we have people internally that
Yep.
we follow, that we like to grow. You put them in, I don't know, they start in R&D, they can move to production, they can go to sales. So there's a pool of talent that we are following. It's easier to do it in Europe and Asia than in the US, where there is more competition, or maybe less. If it's moving too fast, so it's more difficult to work on this population. But we are working on this because it's a big hub for me. And how do you attract talent? We are lucky to be in an industry which has an impact on public health. So it's a good source of motivation for the people. Also, the way we are organized, the benefits that the company is doing, they go to the foundation, which is supporting people in very tough countries. So we don't do it to please, but that's something which also brings it's good for the motivation of the people. So I think we bring them because first we have to grow, we have to be an attractive company. The impact, the mission, the public health mission is important, and also I believe the quality of work. I hope that they can find in the company.
And how are you able to? So you have a personality, right? How are you able to first not be biased by who you choose to be around? Because you said at the beginning that you want to be surrounded by people who are also different, who have various different qualities. How are you able to not be biased when you choose those people to make sure that you have the best surrounding to understand the market and be on top of things?
I need to make sure that people fit with the mindset of the company, the culture, the style, I believe. But they need to agree on the mission of the company. They need to be respectful of people. But then I like the diversity of style. I like the quiet achievers. I'm always impressed by the charismatic leaders. But what matters is what they really do in the end. So no, I like different styles. I just want to make sure that they're in the same tone for the umbrella of the company.
And okay, yeah, makes sense. So maybe before opening for the questions, maybe if you have a quick mention of how those young people coming from 40 countries,
congrats,
43 actually, coming from sometimes fly like 10 hours, what would be an advice? Because you could have done, I believe, many things in your life before joining bioMérieux. You could have done another career.
Not sure.
Okay, that's
advice. Okay, so I understand you are, just to make sure, they are all in the healthcare, not engineers, biotech. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing you can change the world. That's the good thing. I made a mistake. I told to my son that engineers and biotech people will change the world, which I really truly believe. So he's fighting like crazy to work on maths and physics, and he put himself some pressure. No, what can I tell you? No, I think it's really, again, really super exciting times in terms of science. That's in these complex worlds. I really believe very impactful what we can do. Again, what I mentioned in personalized medicine through diagnostic, therapeutics, care, and monitoring. So it's a good time to be in this activity. You are much smarter than me. Plus, you know AI. I don't know AI. No, for me, my only comment is to say that keep learning. You will keep learning all your life, during all the journey, and be super curious of what is happening around you. And what I like in bioMérieux, it's also people who have engineer, technical background, touch of business, and also geopolitics. I mean, understanding the world dynamics. Traveling abroad for your studies or for the work, I believe this is key. I had a chance to spend a few years in the US. It's a bit touchy right now. But I hope that my kids also will do US, but also Asia. And when you think about models, think about what's cooking in China, India, on the emerging countries, because again they will, I believe, invent or develop models that we don't think about in Western countries, which could be super impactful. So this is since I'm not CEO anymore, I spend much more time on destinations I didn't have time to do before. And this is first very refreshing, and it's a way for me also to push management to think a bit differently.
Thank you so much, Alexandre.
My pleasure.
Everyone, Alexandre Mérieux, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe we can open the floor for 15 minutes,
pleasure.
15 minutes Q&A. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand, make it short. So name, country, one question, please. Thank you.
I decide who talks or no? No,
I mean,
no you do. Okay.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm from Singapore. bioMérieux also has an office in Singapore. A friend of mine used to work as a product manager. So no, a friend of mine.
Yeah. It was okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. Okay.
So on the theme of leading yourself, I wanted to understand, as a family-run company, what is one leadership quality or something that is non-negotiable when you make trade-off decisions between short-term financial goals and impact and long-term public health outreach and making a difference and impact?
The long term always wins. Because this is what it takes time to take a long-term decision. This is what wins in the end. And as I mentioned, long-term it could be starting a R&D project. It takes 7 to 8 years to develop a system. If you can do it, that's fine. Sometimes we have to do an acquisition. But that's the long term who always wins for me. That I'm not sure. That was your question, or I'm on the side.
I was asking one non-negotiable leadership practice.
When you're running. So leadership. Long-term view, I would say leadership non-negotiable. I believe the respect for the people and listening to them, and then bringing them on board. Sometimes you take decisions which are not in line with the management because they are more on a different time horizon. But you have to bring them on board. But I would say yes. That's I would say respect, humility are maybe the key drivers.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Komli. I'm from Germany. I'm an early stage startup founder. So my question is more related to decision making. As one who is the leader, you have to make a lot of tough decisions, which the team or people around you might not be happy. But at the end, you can't satisfy everyone. But how do you navigate such tough situations when you have to go through these aspects of decision making?
I've been lucky not to have to take too many tough decisions, because so far, we'll see how it goes, the company was growing and is growing. So except in 1 or 2 cases, I didn't have to do massive layoffs or thing like that. We had to close sites that we acquired. We do it because it's the best decision. It's the good decision for the company. That's not the easiest one. But no, I've been lucky. We had crisis, quality issues, COVID and all. But for me, the tough decisions are more linked to people decision. We had to close a site last year in the US. We pay attention. It was in San Diego. So we also made sure the people they found a job the next 2 hours. We had China is a tough situation now, so we had to let go people. That's the tough decision. The tough decision linked to acquisitions. They're not always good, but I'm not a scientist, so sometimes I need to make sure I have good advice around me. This one's, it's okay. It's okay. They're not always successful, but in our job, if you do R&D and biotech, and bioMérieux is investing 12% of R&D, which is good, but we don't. Sometimes we have to do acquisitions because our project don't go well. But we are better after to integrate the company. So no acquisitions. I made mistakes, of course, but I never regret them because we always learned.
Hi, my name is Pen. I'm working in Germany. Being in such a family in business, sometimes younger generation might have different perspective than the elder generations. So throughout your career, I wanted to know whether there's such debate happen and how do you navigate yourself?
No, there was not too much debate because my father stayed quite active, so he ended the debate. No, to be transparent, we were in line. No, there was no issue on that front because as long as you agree on the long-term mission, the public health dimension of the company and the style you want to bring to the company, there was no issue there. And again, we have a role to set the tone, drive the strategy, but the daily work, I have very good managers, so. No, there was not a topic like that. Style can be different sometimes, but all in all, we 95% in line. Okay.
Hi, I'm Anna. I work with Boehringer Ingelheim in Vienna, Austria, so also a family-owned company. So it's really interesting to hear about that. And I have a question more about the young generation of leaders. What do you think is one thing that our generation doesn't understand about biotech or is not completely aware of? Something you would like to share on that?
Oh, I cannot judge your generation. What you don't get about biotech? No, I think you get much more than me about biotech. It's just to make sure that innovation or biotech, it has to answer to an unmet needs. So it cannot. I believe a lot in technology. I believe technology can change the world, but I have many good technologies in bioMérieux which are in a drawer because they had a good technical dimension, but they didn't get the medical and cost benefit approach. So just just want to make sure that when you're working on technologies or that it will fit a medical, social, and economical need, and your world is more complex. So stay super open to what happens worldwide. Things have changed. 8 years ago, before COVID, I was happy to grow bioMérieux in China with my products. Now I go to China to find the innovation I can bring back to Europe. So just stay engaged and a bit paranoid. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lucy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm originally from France, based in the US. I was more curious about the innovation landscape and the challenges you face, and what are the qualities in terms of leadership that are required to lead innovation right now?
So what's moving in the space of in my space? What is moving in my space? What is moving is the fields like still PCR sequencing. This is what we are working on. I'm not sure it will apply to infectious disease, but again, I want to make sure that we look at everything. And regarding innovation, the issue with companies like mine now, which are starting to be big, is that you start to have processes. So you have to have a control launch, quality procedure, and also I need to work on this, how to go faster. Maybe something which has a bit changed is what we do now. We are not so much shooting for the perfect product, but maybe we are shooting for the how can I say that? The minimal viable product that we increase after. We used to shoot for the moon, and then R&D is working and say, I cannot reach that, I cannot reach that. So you go down in terms of requisite of the product. And now we try to shoot for that, and then go incremental. That's a different type of approach or the mindset that we try to bring to the company. That sometimes you can improve the good enough, can be better than shooting for the moon. Okay. Okay.
Thank you for the great talk. I'm Charlotte, I'm French, I work in health policy. I have a question related to your talk regarding the growing of China and the US. From your perspective, how do you contribute to the European and the French sovereignty? Thank you so much.
How do I contribute? I contribute by making decisions sometimes which are not totally in line with the short term. For example, the biggest manufacturing project that we have was announced 2 months ago. It was to produce molecular reagents close by in France, in a site that we have. So every politician was very happy to say, oh, but we didn't do it to please it. But we just believe, again, I come back to the ecosystem. It's important to have a know-how in R&D and manufacturing here. And I believe also that it's needed now. The way the world is being spread, it's good to have different sites around the world. Let's say North America, Europe, and Asia. It's safer, in fact. It's safer in terms of supply chain, in terms of logistics. I don't know what can happen tomorrow. First, now China is a bit like the US. If you want to work in China or in the US, you have to manufacture in the US or in China. So it's a trend which is coming. It's a bit painful because it's a different model. But yeah, the European sovereignty will be done through R&D and manufacturing investments, and maybe some partnership also with some European companies that are good. There are very good startups or tech companies in Europe. What we are lacking is the financing around it. So with the small fund that we have, we also try to protect or invest in these companies.
Hi, thank you so much for your talk so far. In an early, Tikhon, I'm originally from Estonia and I'm based in Paris. I had a question related to a previous one that you answered about you having the same vision within your family for the company. But given the unique dynamics of a family-run business and our theme today of leading yourself, how do you deal with the pressure that uniquely comes from running such a big organization that also represents your family name?
How I deal with that? Alcohol mainly. Nothing. No. I deal with that. No, I get good people. I get good people around me. That's the thing. I choose my topic, but it's a responsibility. I agree. That's why I said I talk about servant leadership. It's more my focus and make sure I don't disappoint or the 25,000 people and make sure they stay engaged. But it's okay. I am well surrounded. My kids are still quite young, so I protect them a bit. But again, we are in a very impactful industry. Clinical diagnostic, food safety and quality, animal health. It alleviates the pressure to be an impactful business, because that's what brings people on board. Okay.
All right, I think we still have time for one more question.
I'm there at the break also if you want after. I will go to the Yark this afternoon, to the cocktail, so we have time also at the time. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Susie. I'm from Singapore. I want to ask whether you see any different leadership qualities between the technology you develop in-house through R&D versus the technology that you built through acquisition.
Yeah, I see. I see a difference because we are used to do acquisitions at an early stage. So we were mainly dealing with R&D scientists, which are entrepreneurs. And maybe things will change, but the story of bioMérieux has been to do R&D, but to do acquisitions at an early stage. And usually we were able to convince people to join the company. You have to buy the company, but you give them a project. So we offer them the opportunity to grow the business. And if I look at the biggest acquisition we did 10 years ago, it was a company in Salt Lake City. There were 50 people. Now there are 3,000 people. So we buy a technology, but mainly we buy the quality of the people and on their mindset. So it's very important to give a room of maneuver to entrepreneurs and scientists. And since in our job there is a strong connection between R&D and manufacturing, we don't centralize. So we grow the businesses we require, and it makes, I believe, a bit of a difference.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm happy to see you this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Alexandre, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are ready for the next panel. Mm-hmm.